What's going on, guys? It's Steve. So a lot of you guys were asking me to talk about Russell Westbrook versus LeBron James. So why not? Well, there's really not a comparison at this moment because LeBron James is clearly the best player in the NBA. But who will have the better season? Now, here's the thing. I predict LeBron will average around 25, 26 points per game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, around there, maybe plus or minus a few. I would love to see LeBron, slow things down to around 23 points per game, 8 rebounds, 10 assists. That would be awesome to see him do that for the first time in his career. He got really close before. I think one year he averaged 38 and 9, or 37 and 9, which is 9.5 actually, which is pretty cool. So I'd love to see him do that. And in terms of having a better season, it's obviously going to be LeBron in terms of totality of success. If you look at the totality of him winning, of him putting up MVP numbers, of him actually winning the MVP, he's most likely going to win MVP, right? They're going to have the number 1 seed in the East, most likely. LeBron's going to do what he does. People are saying Kyrie Irving. There's no way in hell any person would ever win MVP over LeBron James. I don't care if LeBron's out of his prime. There's no one ever going to be more valuable than LeBron James on the floor. There's no way someone's going to win MVP over him on the same team. It's just not going to happen. That's just one of those things that'll never happen because LeBron's too good. Right? And then, first of all, I would like to address this. You have these people, these funny people, these haters. I don't understand how you can still possibly hate, but every year there's just a new realm of stupidity that comes around, and they say, "Oh, look, he's declining. Oh, he's declining. LeBron's declining. Why? Because he's average." First of all of his numbers stayed the same, except for his 3-point shooting and his points per game. This is something you see throughout. Well, I'm not going to talk about the person I would like to mention right now. You guys know. First of all, if you guys know who I like to mention right now, leave it in the comment section below. There's another player that people say out of his prime because his points per game declined, but they don't look at the bigger picture. Here's the thing. LeBron James is averaging 2 less points per game than his career. But yet, for some odd reason, people say he's out of his prime, when every single other stat has stayed consistent. His career stat line is around 27, 7, and 7. Last year, he averaged around 25, 7, and 7. How the hell is he out of his prime? Did you see what he did? In the NBA final, he's out of his prime. He's declining athletically. So what? So what? These are the same people that were saying 5 years before, oh, well, when his athleticism isn't top tier anymore, he's not going to be so good. Oh, well, he's declining athletically, which I do agree with. He is. It's obvious. But he was so athletic that his athleticism now is still top tier. You know what I mean? So in terms of that, man, there's anyway, dude. You just have these funny people. And then you have these people that say Russell Westbrook is definitely going to win MVP. The way MVP works, you have to have one of the better records in the NBA. And the Oklahoma City Thunder probably won't even make the playoffs. You have these people that say, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're going to finish 7th or 8th. I remember I made my 2016-17 prediction video for the standings, and people were getting mad. How come Oklahoma City isn't in the playoffs? What the hell do you mean? Why aren't the Oklahoma City Thunder not in the playoffs? First of all, when they didn't have Kevin Durant, they didn't even make the playoffs in 2014. Or 15, excuse me. Right? And then on top of that, they didn't only lose Kevin Durant. They lost Serge Ibaka, one of their best defensive players. What do you expect to happen, man? Listen, I love Russell Westbrook. He's a great player, but he's not LeBron James. We need to stop holding all of these players. I like to call this the LeBron effect, the D-Wade effect. Young players, superstar players in their prime, they were so good that they carried teams in the playoffs, right? With pretty much no one on the team. LeBron, D-Wade, you know what I mean? Deep, too, right? But the thing is, these young players aren't as good as LeBron and Wade were in their prime. Here's the thing. We need to stop comparing players to LeBron. And Russell Westbrook is great, but he's not LeBron James. He's not. The reason why I say this, you guys really have to understand this. I've said this before. The thing with Russell Westbrook, he's 6'3", 6'4", right? He's probably going to average anywhere from 38 and 10, around there, right? He's going to be great. He's going to stuff the stat sheet, right? He's a great player. I would love to have him on my team. But being that height, being a point guard, the only way a point guard could ever impact a game to the level of LeBron James or Dwyane Wade or a Carmelo or a Kobe or a Kevin Durant or you name it, you need to be taller. I understand most of you guys don't understand why, but you need to be like a James Harden or like a Magic Johnson. The reason why is because you need to be able to rebound the basketball. There's a difference between being able to stuff the stat sheet and actually being a good rebounder. You need to be able to be versatile, to guard multiple positions, to be able to impact the defense. Because when you're a guard, it's pretty much easy to guard you. Well, it's easier said than done, but it's easier to guard you if you're an elite guard than if you're an elite forward. You know what I mean? So in terms of that, you know, a guard can't impact the game as much as a forward. I mean, we've seen this time in and time out. Let's look at historically. You have Stephen Curry and LeBron James. Curry can't impact the game the way LeBron does. You know what I mean? Curry can't impact the game the way Kevin Durant does. You know, you can go even further back. Tony Parker, Chris Paul. They couldn't impact the game back in their heyday. I mean, Chris Paul's still relevant, but you know, Darren Williams. But you know, they couldn't impact the game the way T-Mac, Kobe could. You know what I mean? There's a difference, man. So Russell Westbrook, he's a great player. He really is. But it's like him and Kevin Durant were, I think Max Kellerman said this, and I agreed. It's like they were reversed. Russell Westbrook has the alpha mentality, but he has the beta play style. Kevin Durant is a better player, but he has the beta mentality. You know, so that's why things didn't really mesh. But the thing is, it's like, I don't know, man. It's so hard to explain. All I'm going to say is he's a great player, no doubt about it, but they're not going to make the playoffs. And, you know, so in terms of who's going to have the better season, I think LeBron is, but in terms of stats, it's obviously going to be Russell Westbrook. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he's going to have one of the best seasons in NBA history in terms of stats, but it's not going to matter because his team's not going to make the playoffs. Now, in terms of what I can't wait for, I can't wait to see Russell Westbrook versus Stephen Curry. That'll be great. I can't wait to see Russell Westbrook finally get to meet Kevin Durant. I think they play November 11th or the 22nd, sometime in November. I can't wait to see that. It's going to be really fun. I want to see if Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook are going to, if they're going to even shake hands or anything like that. Kevin Durant actually came out and said, I was going to make a video. I don't know if I made a video on this. I make so many damn videos, man. Kevin Durant actually came out and said him and Russell Westbrook were nothing more than work friends, you know. I don't know how I feel about that. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's because, like, if you think about it, Russell Westbrook, he pretty much grew up with Kevin Durant in a sense, because once you get to the NBA, you have to start all over. No matter how good you are, you start all over. You know? So to grow up with him, to go to the NBA Finals, Conference Finals, have MVP, you know what I mean? And then to just come out and say you just work friends, you know, I'm kind of not surprised, because in terms of having, like, if you ever had experience playing on any kind of sports team, you'll know that there's players that you mesh with, players that you don't. You know, and usually there's really not more than one person that you're real close with. The reason is because, yeah, basketball brings you together, but besides basketball, a lot of the time, or whatever sport it is, a lot of the time, you don't have nothing more in common. You don't have much more in common besides basketball. You know, so that's just the way it is, man. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Kind of iffy. But, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think LeBron James is going to have the better season than Russell Westbrook, just in terms of totality. But Russell Westbrook will have the better stat line. But at the end of the day, obviously, we already know what's going to happen. He's probably not going to make the playoffs, unfortunately. Great player. I don't think it was I think he made a I don't want to say boneheaded decision, but I think he just acted out of impulse with signing that extension with the Oklahoma City Thunder, because if he was smart, man, he should have waited for that free agency, because that dude would have been offered, first of all, he would have been offered so much more money. And then on top of that, he could have went somewhere that could have changed the NBA. Like, for example, what if you went to Atlanta to play with Dwight Howard? Or what if you went to Indiana or New York or Los Angeles, the Clippers, and played with Chris Paul? You know what I mean? So that's that, man. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.